Hey there, Dina Falconi, herbalist, educator, the author of Foraging and Feasting and Earthly Bodies and Heavenly Hair. And what is happening right now is the elder bush is in berry, and we want to forage for some of that medicine and some of that food. And what is so amazing about elderberry is it's an immune stimulant. It helps us to boost our immune system, to deal with viral infections, to deal with contagious things that are moving around. And it also helps us to move through an infection. So elderberry is peaking in the landscape right now. Where are you going to find elderberry? It likes to grow in ditches and wet soils, along stream banks, in hedgerows, and it plants itself in gardens. This actually came here, birds planted it. This area is full of elderberry, and it's a rich bottomland area that we've built up. So what's happening here is we have Sambucus canadensis, but if you have Sambucus nigra, that's a beautiful thing. They're used interchangeably. What else to say? This is a native of the United States, and Sambucus nigra is a native of Europe, and it's from zones, hardiness zones 3 to 10. So you can tap this beauty, and you want to pick fully ripe berries. That means blue, black, purple, black, really purple, black, dark berries. If they're green or pink, we don't use those. And you want to just use the part of, you don't want any stem in there. The peduncles, you say goodbye to them. And then what do we do with this elder? We can put the berries into the freezer, and then they become an infusion. They can become an elderberry syrup, or you can make elderberry syrup right now. You can tincture them, you can dehydrate them. So let's just give you a quick look at a ripe berry versus an unripe berry, so you know what you're picking, and then a quick ID on the bark and the leaf, so you know how to key this out. And so I'm going to clip a piece of the bark. I'm going to clip leaves, leaflets, so you really know how to ID this properly. Let's get a bit of a mature bark as well, so you can see what that looks like. And let's go to the picnic table and show you. Here we are with leaf arrangement. So you can see I'm holding this branch, and these are the leaves that are oppositely arranged. And I'm going to break them off. So this is one leaf right here that I've just broken, right? And they're arranged oppositely. This is one leaf with many leaflets. Let's get into the leaflets right now. And so when I take this leaf, this is one leaf that I'm holding. It is made up of many leaflets, typically from 5 to 11. 7 is the average. And you can see that they are usually oppositely arranged. So these leaflets are oppositely arranged as well. This is one leaf made up of many leaflets, typically 5 to 11 leaflets. And this is called a pinnate leaflet, or a pinnate compound leaf. Pinnate compound leaf made up of many leaflets. Now let's have you look at these leaflets. And here we see that this leaf blade made up of its leaflets. Here there are 11 in this particular leaf. There are 11 leaflets, and we can see here that they are typically oppositely arranged. Now I would like you to see the margin of each leaflet in a moment, and I also want you to see this elongated pointy tip. So, and also the shape. These leaflet shapes are eggy, so called ovate. Sometimes they're a little more lanceolate, lance-like. So that's the leaf shape. And if you come close to the leaf margin, you're going to see that they are serrated. They have little teeth on the edge. For identification, it's important to look at the bark. And here we have a grayish, lightish gray, slightly tan bark. And you want to always look for these warts, these lenticels, these little warty bumps. So that is a key identifying feature. And let's cut this open to show you what's going on inside. And I want to cut it so you can see what's going on inside. My cut, ay, ay, ay. You can see that it has white pith inside. And here we're at the fruit cluster, and as we descend down the branch, here we have a green stem, which isn't too warty yet, but then last year's green growth you can see is right here, and it becomes warty. And then the green gets darker and grayer as we move down the branch, all the way down till we hit the more mature bark. And I want you to meet elderberry or elderbush's really lovely older bark that's nice and bumpy. Come on over here. These lenticels are nice and bumpy now, so that's happening. In this section, you see fully ripe elderberries, perfect for making food and medicine with, but even within this cluster, you can see that there is an unripe green one, so we want to get rid of that. And now if we move over to this cluster, you can see that these are not ripe. And this whole cluster I just picked for you to be able to see an unripe berry cluster. Really, these need to become more mature, darken, get a purple-black coloring, so you can see the difference between the very ripe and the not ripe clusters. But even within these clusters, there's a lot of variation. And so you want to pick out what's not ripe. I'm sorry, yeah, the green one, what's not ripe. One thing to consider is after you have harvested your fully ripe elderberries, you do need to process them, meaning you need to cook them, because they can cause nausea in some folks. I actually eat them raw, sprinkled about here and there, and have no issues, but they are potentially problematic for folks. So you want to cook these before you eat them. And if you've enjoyed this and you'd like more, check out my online course, Wild Food Health Boosters and Herbal Remedies, at wildfoodhealthboosters.com. See you next time.